As promised, it is 6:15. We are going to begin. I want to welcome everybody on behalf of the Leicester High School Athletic Hall of Fame Committee. My name is Kim Fردella, and I'm happy to welcome our distinguished guests, Hall of Famers, our families, community members, and especially our 2025 Hall of Fame inductees. What a special evening for Leicester. So wonderful to see so many familiar faces. This is our first induction dinner since 2019. The granddads of our committee, Mr. Nelson and Mr. Lauder, decided it was time to get the group back together after our 6-year hiatus. So we met in October 2024 to begin planning this event, and we're excited to see it come to fruition tonight with all of you and celebrate Leicester athletics and its legacy. Before we introduce our inductees, I would like to acknowledge some people in attendance. Welcome to Mrs. Lillian Albro and her family as we honor the founder of the Leicester High School Hall of Fame, her late husband, Mr. George Albro. And I'm sure I'm not alone in this room where many of us could just stand up here and say so many wonderful things about Mr. Albro. So I'm going to stop myself before I commandeer it and just speak all night about him. So we're so happy you are here. All right, from Leicester High School, we have our current principal, Ted Zawada. Ted Zawada, thank you for being here. Ted is not a graduate of Leicester High School, but we forgive you. It's okay. It's all right. He is a former AD, and we worked on the Hall of Fame committee together for the last couple. He did a wonderful job, and he did coach soccer for a very
I think just that I worked hard. I think that was something I had a lot of coaches instill in me, that hard work would get you really far. And I think playing the game the right way and just respecting the game, respecting those who came before you, those are things that are really important to me. And I was lucky enough, I think it was maybe 6 or 7 years ago when the softball team was making a run in the playoffs. Coach Shannon gave me a call and asked me to speak to the team. And I think that was a real honor for me to get to be someone that he wanted the team to speak with. So I think that's how I'd like to be remembered.
And I'm sure the team was a successful team in the early aughts. So, you know, well, yes, it's pretty good. All right, so, moving on. All right, we have some current Hall of Famers in attendance. If I call your name, would you please stand and be recognized? We have Emily Bottis, who is a Leicester High School 1992 graduate. She was inducted in 2004. Maureen Connery. Leicester High School graduate 1962 and Hall of Famer from the class of 2019. Karen Fردella, Leicester High School 1993. Hall of Famer 2004. We have Mr. Bill White, LHS 1973 grad, and a Hall of Famer from the 2019 induction. We have our, going backwards a little bit, our current superintendent, Brett Kosigian, and his wife, Kristen Langlois Kosigian, who are class of 92 and 93 respectively. Welcome. I'm not going to say anything. Okay. The Hall of Fame Committee is a division of the Leicester High School Booster Club. So we would like to thank their co-presidents, Jody Fournier and Paula Gallant, for all their help. Paula is a 1988 graduate Her late mother, Kathy, was a Leicester High School 1963 grad and is a member of the Hall of Fame, inducted in 2004. And her father, Norman, was a member of was a member of the 1960 football team, and I believe was inducted before tonight as well. Is that true? I will look it up. Our photographers are from Dolan Photography. Joe Dolan, class of 2000, volunteering his time to be with us here. From LCAC, we have Mr. Lucky Margadana. Thank you for being here. What class, Mr. Margadana?
72.
1972 graduate. Thank you, and all of the beautiful things you see printed here, the programs and the decor, those were done by Miles Press, and their rep is, you probably guessed, a Leicester grad, Stephanie Marcinkus, Martinson, 1993. Sorry, Stephanie Martinson. And thank you very much to Amy from Spencer Country Inn for working with us to make this happen this evening. It's really beautiful. Almost done. We are grateful for our sponsors who are listed on the back of the program. Without them, we would not be able to have such a beautiful evening for our inductees. And now for our committee members, I'm just going to list them alphabetically. We have Chris Barry from class of 2000. He is our football coach. Recently got a W in the Battle of Breezy Bend, and the current guidance counselor. Woo! Yes. We have Tom Bowes, our lucky to be retired guidance counselor over there. He is also the tennis coach, former JV softball coach as well. And we have Jennifer Connery-Callahan, which you will get to know very well because she is going to speak with each of our inductees this evening. And she is a principal at Lincoln Street School in Northborough. She's class of 92 and a Hall of Famer from 2019. So thank you, Jenny. Ed Zipper is Hall of Fame class of 1994 and an LH coach of a million sports. He is here, and Mike Lynch, our current AD and longtime basketball coach, is the creator of the stunning digital Hall of Fame that you will see if you look at one of the QR codes in there. That is a living platform that he will continue to update. So if we got any of your stats wrong, let us know and we can fix it in the digital Hall of Fame. And that is really great. We have Bob Nelson. He is class of 64, and he is being recognized with his 1960 football team this evening. Many of us in this room say, we talked earlier tonight, had him, he was our, phys ed and health teacher, and was a longtime football coach in Leicester, successfully. Dave Stanek is our PE teacher, our former girls basketball and softball coach. Diane Sanderson is our executive secretary. Tracy Steiger, our co-chair, class of 89, Hall of Fame, 2018, a former basketball coach and currently a principal at the elementary school. And finally, forever track and field coach and the nicest man in the world, we have Ollie White in attendance as well. We are here for our impressive inductees, whom you will learn more about later. We have Becky Granger, Rocky Highland, Mark LaPointe, Betty O'Neill Larson, Tom O'Neill, Bob Pinchton Jr., and Lauren Tuscola, and of course, the 1960 football team, whose members in attendance are Norman Bergeron, Buddy Berryman, Bob Carney, Bob Nelson, Dave Steelman, Vic Taylor, and the family of the late Jim Connery. And finally, if you haven't seen the memorabilia table, please visit it at some point tonight. It's really some stunning things over there. You might see a photo of yourself from 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 30, 40, 50. Do I have to keep going? Oh, 1960, guys. 65 years ago. Unbelievable. Now I can stop. Oh, Betty. 70 years ago, Betty graduated. Betty. Respect. Unbelievable. Please enjoy the memories displayed of many outstanding years of our little town's big athletes. May there be many more. And now I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Tom Lauder to honor the memory of our dear friend, Mr. George Albro.
I hope you can hear me. Thanks, Kim, for not talking about Mr. Albro. That was my job, so appreciate it. Good evening and welcome. Great turnout tonight to honor our inductees and Mr. Albro. That's my job tonight, and it's an easy job. George had already been inducted into the Athletic Hall of Fame in 1996. So tonight we would like to ceremoniously induct him into a Teacher, Coach, and Mentor Hall of Fame, if there were such a thing. As most of you know, we lost him a few years ago when he was still giving back to Leicester and Worcester State University, still active and sharp, still everyone's friend, and was still a better golfer than me and many others. So he started this 33 years ago. He has remained one of Leicester's great traditions, as you can tell. It's quite an honor to see the inductees coming, feeling like, they just, won $1 million when they get inducted. It's so nice. And it's nice that it's here, it's formal, and we really love it. And, Mr. Albro was the initiator. Mr. Albro had been involved in Leicester schools and athletics for over 50 years. He was very much a part of the Worcester State University programs down there too, but tonight it's all about Leicester. So, this story is some 50 years ago. Yes, 50 years, bear with me. There was a student entering 8th grade 2 weeks after his dad died in late August. Mr. Albro was his homeroom teacher, his English teacher, and his basketball coach. Mr. Albro took him under his wing, brought him through a very tough time. He was kind, but not too kind, and he was patient, not too patient. And he had high expectations for that young man with no excuses. Some years after that, this student had the privilege of teaching with, coaching with, and being an administrator with Mr. Albro. Yeah, that was me. An 8th grader was me. So needless to say, he has been an influence and a mentor for me throughout my life. So I get to talk about it. Now, throughout his life, it wasn't that Mr. Albro was loud and in your face, or he wasn't demanding to do what he was told for you to do, or he didn't lecture you to death. His presence, his demeanor, his authenticity of who he was and what was expected spoke volumes. His quiet influence was definite. And I'm sure there are many of you, like Kim was saying, who could come up here and tell a story about Mr. Albro and the influence they had. But lucky me, I got to do it tonight, and it was my honor. And we should all be so fortunate to have such a powerful influence on so many. Therefore, the LHS Hall of Fame Committee has made the logical and easy decision to honor Mr. George Albro for 100 reasons, but initially for starting the LHS Hall of Fame and continuing for all these years, but also for all he has done for the Leicester schools, its athletics, and our community. So, Mrs. Lillian Albro was kind enough to be here with some of her family and acknowledge and accept a token to hang on her wall, a plaque with a classic picture and a heartfelt saying. And I'd like to call Mr. Hippett up. Mr. Hippett has been a longtime friend and coach with Mr. Albro, about 100 years or so now. And I'd like him to take the plaque and give it to Mrs. Albro. So, let me have you hold it up, Mr. Hippett. Flag says George Albro. It has a classic picture of the, I think, 70s collar on there. He coached with his heart, taught with purpose, and mentored with kindness. His legacy lives on in all of us. So thank you for listening. Mrs. Albro, where are you?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Over there. Come on up, Mrs. Albro. And step up. Oh, I want to be taller than
Thank you.
All right.
George was a public speaker night.
Well, you can come on, sure.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, you say thank you. Don't tell any bad stories.
Oh, I got a story.
Quick story, because we're going
Don't
to
tell
eat
any
the
Bible
minutes.
stories, please.
Please, well, Lillian's
Please, I've heard for the Bible stories.
indulge a bit, but I have a story. And George and I were really best friends. When he converted to Catholicism, he asked me to be his godfather. So I always held that over his head for quite a long time, that I was the godfather. But in my time with George and Lillian, I loved going to their house. And the reason, well, big reason why, she was a pretty good cook. And I was single, you know, really single. And lucky there was a pizza shop around the corner. But Lillian was great. And so I'd go there, especially like on Saturday afternoon, watch a ball game, George and I, you know, kick everybody else out. And Lillian would cook, which was great. But my story is this. Like Tommy and I were saying, George is one of those few guys in the world that you've never heard a bad word about. Not me, not George, but George was one of those guys. And if I could tell a quick story on it, on this one particular Saturday afternoon, we're watching a ball game, and I said to George, my feet are killing me. And of course, I had no one to look after me. I was on my own. And George kneeled down and he said, take your sneakers off. And I took them off. And he took the socks off. And there, you know, this guy, you know, down on his knees, checking out my feet. And he said, you've got some athlete's foot in there. And I said, well, I'm not an athlete, but not a good idea. So George said, sit there a minute. So he went and he got a pail of hot water and he got a cloth and he got some stuff. And then, you know, he's down on one knee and he's cleaning out and finagling down in there. And here's a grown man cleaning my feet up, you know. It was biblical, you know. I mean, there was someone else that might have done that a long time ago, but George was doing it to me. And so he cleaned things out, he sprayed things in there. He said, Lillian, get me some more white socks, get me some white socks. So he went to the drawer, got those, put my sneakers back, you know, and I healed up. But it's a quick story, but certainly, how many guys would do that? You know?
Not me.
Who would do that? And the nature of the man, I loved him. He was as Christ-like as I could ever say about somebody, and I really miss him a lot, and I know you do. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I supposed to? Go ahead. Still there.
I feel like I don't need to go to church now. Thank you, Eddie. You saved me one. My name is Jen Connery Callahan. I will be your MC this evening. I did a little deep dive into MC. That means Master of Ceremony. I figured it's 2025. The feminine version of that is Mistress of Ceremony, which is apropos. My husband is out of town. True story. So we'll talk a little bit about the evening. What we're going to do is we're going to get the dinner started. And we are going to have the members of the Spencer Country Inn come and tap your table. Please wait till you are addressed by a staff member. It will go quickly. It's double-sided, like any good buffet should be. If you need quick action, you can put silverware in your pockets if that will help you. So we will have them start the evening after we get the dinner concluded. We will start with the ceremony. I will come back up. I will share with you the format of this night's beautiful event, and we'll go from there. Is everybody ready for this? The only thing I want to add is that elastic pants are the best invention ever. This evening is following Thanksgiving. Earlier this afternoon, Kim Friedel and I saw turkeys that escaped because they hosted 300 people here at Spencer Country Inn last night and yesterday. So elastic pants, boys and girls, elastic pants. It's gonna get us through this night. Here we go. Let's see. So I'm going to explain a little bit about the night and the format so everyone is familiar with what's going to happen this evening. I will call up each inductee one at a time alphabetically, and they will come to the stage. We have a microphone for them and also a stool for them to sit on. If you need help climbing the stool, I can help you. The inductees pre-selected questions of their choice. If you forget your questions, I have a copy and I will wing it and embarrass you. Just kidding. I will make this a very conversational experience. If you go off script, please, it's fine. We just want to make sure that you're comfortable and ready to go. I apologize that I'm a little late. Mr. Fideller had me in the parking lot doing some calisthenics and some foot fire. So if I sound a little out of breath, he made me that way. We drove in the back of the pickup truck here. So we will call up each candidate. We will do an interview, ask some questions, and then I will call up another person, one of our fine distinguished guests, which we have many, many guests here tonight that are going to present the actual award to the athlete who is being inducted into the Hall of Fame. When that concludes, we will then induct the 1960 undefeated football team, and we will call them up if they are still awake. We will not make them climb the stage. It's a sprained ankle waiting to happen and the trainer's not here. So we will have some seats in the front. Again, we will ask for Vic Taylor and Bob Carney to say a few words, and we will present them also with plaques for the evening. At the end of the evening, I have been asked to share that the LCAC wants to do some personal interviews with each of the inductees and the team. So please stick around and have an extra Diet Coke if you need to stay awake. As
we go throughout the evening, your tables will be cleared. They are going to set up the cake and cookies on the tables over to your right, my left. We have a gluten-free cake. We have regular cake. Both have lots of great calories. Dig in. And we have a cookie platter. So please, as we go, there'll be some cake being served. Let's start with our first inductee for this evening. We have Becky Granger. She was the class of 1996. Becky participated in cross country, skiing, field hockey, and track and field. A little fun fact I learned about Becky just this evening is that her lucky number is 3. Come to find out, her field hockey number was 33. She has shared with me that she came in 3rd place in many of her races, and her table she's sitting at this evening, number 3. Becky Granger. So the highlights of Becky's career at Leicester High School was that she captained all 3 sports. She participated in cross-country state championship, held a javelin record for several years at Leicester High School, and continued her athletic career at Bridgewater State University. Becky, are you ready?
No.
Is it on? Is it on? Let's get you on.
Nope, not on.
It was on mute, a button my husband knows well.
I have elastic pants on.
For the win. So, can you please start by introducing any of your fan club that's here with you this evening?
So my team is Dick and Ruth Granger. My parents, my older sister Susan Cussin and her husband James, my older brother Richie and his wife Jackie, and my 2 boys TNT, Tucker and Trevor.
Thank you for coming. Becky, let's start with you talking to us a little bit about the key people that helped you along the way in your athletic career.
So that's a long list. For those who don't know me, I started off probably 2 years old with a baseball bat in my hand. And I didn't realize that, but I have proof on my phone with a picture. So I have a twin brother, Robert, who's not here tonight. But the 2 of us were pretty much inseparable. Am I too loud? Okay. All right. So by 2, 3 years old, we were playing baseball, softball. Probably by 3 or 4, no, by 6 or 7, we were doing cross-country skiing, or, sorry, I'm nervous. I gotta pull up my cheat sheets.
Use your phone if you need to.
All right.
We love the machine.
Yes. All right. So by 6 or 7, we were ice skating and cross-country skiing. By 3rd grade, which was the same year that my brother Richie graduated high school, I started playing softball. Continued to be active most of my life. Continued to be active as I am a phys ed teacher at Webster, Bartlett High School in Webster. So throughout my early years, there is one person that has guided me, taught me, and also ganged up on my twin brother and I. So my brother Richard introduced me to the world of activities, music, games, and family fun. And thank God, VHS tapes are no longer, it's hard to find stuff to play them because, oh my goodness, the stuff that was recorded, we'd be in trouble. But we were the 3 amigos. My brother Rich was my first coach and my inspiration to do the best that I possibly could do. As I got into high school, I had my coaches Amy Hobby, Bob Fitzpatrick, and Mr. White, who each believed in me and helped me succeed athletically. Thank you for all that you've done.
Great. So if you think back to that time of being an athlete and continuing your athletic career, what is the most important lesson that you have learned through sports?
Life will throw you curveballs. They'll set up screens, and they put up hurdles in front of you. Don't be fooled by the fake. Beware of the screwball, or you'll land yourself in a pickle. When the line seems impenetrable, remember your team has your back. The most important lesson that sports have taught me are to expect the unexpected, never give up, and family is everything.
Thank you. Could you tell us what maybe the toughest opponent was that you ever played against, or the biggest challenge in your athletic career?
So if you asked me this question in high school, my immediate response would have been my twin brother, Robert, or Bob. My parents believed that Bob and I should learn the same things regardless of our gender. So we both know how to shoot, hunt, fish, use a lawnmower, change a car tire, and the oil. We both learned how to sew, cook, bake, clean up after ourselves, basically everything that you need to do to live on your own. However, everything turned into a competition. Who scored the best on the target? Who picked up the most rocks in the garden? Who stacked the most wood and could do it the fastest? Okay. Or who rode the bike fastest down the lane? For those who don't know, I grew up on a farm over by the Leicester Recycling Center. I'm sure my parents have quite a few stories they could share. But Mom, please don't share the story about the puddle. So needless to say, the first 17 years of my life, my toughest opponent was my twin brother, Bob.
And lastly, what separates a great athlete from just a good one?
I asked my family this question yesterday at Thanksgiving. My mom's immediate response was perseverance. I believe most people would agree what separates a good athlete I believe most people would agree that what separates a good athlete from a great one is a person's competitive drive, mental toughness, resiliency, and internal and external motivations. Someone who is coachable, pays attention to details in their body, a person while amidst the chaos is the team's voice of reason, the cornerstone that holds them together and pulls them out through the tough and refocuses them at the task on hand. These qualities do not only apply to great athletes, but also great people in our communities. If you get a chance, ask my father about the flood when he went camping.
Thank you, Becky. It is with great pleasure that we induct Becky Granger to the Leicester High School Hall of Fame this evening. Presenting Becky with the award is Coach Mr. White.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Rocky Highland, class of 1976. Rocky and I have had some nice text messaging over the past couple of days. I was really curious if he got a buck or anything wonderful near the Thanksgiving time, and he said, no luck with a buck. So some of Rocky's highlights is that he was co-captain of the football team. He won the Wolverine of the Year award and has racked up many whitetails in his day. Thank you, Rocky, for being here with us this evening and joining us up on stage. At this time, can you introduce your family that's here with you?
The Highland Crew is table number 4. My wife Ann, son Andrew, mother Marilyn, brother Jim, his wife Maureen, son Zach, and his girlfriend Lindsay.
Thank you for being here with all of us this evening. Rocky, what accomplishments are you most proud of?
You already mentioned them.
You've got more. I heard about those.
Cheat sheets. One of them, to me, was being a high scorer my junior year, which I think helped in becoming co-captain of the football team my senior year, and then Wolverine of the Year when I was a senior also.
What values or habits have carried over from sports into parts of your life?
Being a team player, learning to work out problems that occur on the field or off the field, and then in real life, where I worked construction, it was the same thing. Working with different contractors of different trades, working as a team to get the job done. And in some instances, after the job was done or the situation was done, we'd say, just like playing football. We accomplished what we wanted to do.
Can you share a story, maybe a behind-the-scenes story that we might not know about?
Oh yeah, this is going to be good. Okay, I was left-handed, and a play that worked great for me was quick pitch left. And it would snap the ball. I would start running to the left-hand side. I'd have Roscoe Burchell and Franny Brennan out blocking for me. Get the ball, tuck it under my left arm, and continue to run around the corner. And on more than one occasion, I'd be running down the sideline, watching the people on my right, and then on my left would see something, and it really didn't click. And then I looked one time and I said, what the hell? It's my mother. She's running down the sidelines, bobbing and weaving through the cheerleaders, yelling, go Rocky, go! And I'm there, are you kidding me? And it wasn't just once, it was almost like every time I ran with the ball, I knew she'd be on the sideline running alongside. Who knew my mother could do the 40 in 4.5 with a cup of coffee in her hand?
That is classic. Lastly for this evening, Rocky, what skills do you think separate great athletes from good ones?
Well, my answer is going to be nothing like the last answer. But anyways, I think a good athlete is one that is a team player. He's a physical performance, and it's mainly on the field. Where a great athlete takes it on the field, off the field, and encourages not only athletes, but non-athletes as well. He's an all-around good person.
Great answer. Thank you, Rocky. It is with great pleasure that we induct Rocky Highland to the Leicester High School Hall of Fame, class of 2025. Presenting Rocky with his award is Mr. Bob Nelson.
Yes, that way just a little bit. Thank you very much.
Lots of buttons on these microphones. Next up this evening, we have Mark LaPointe, class of 1993. Mark, you just need to push that button. It is on mute right now. Give it a little push. It will go green for you.
Hey.
Mark participated in baseball, basketball, and football. Some highlights in Mark's career: he was the recipient of the Thanksgiving Day Trophy and the 1960 Team Game Trophy. He was captain of baseball and football. Mark, welcome. We're so excited for you and your family. Can you take this opportunity to introduce who is here as your crew?
It's tough to do in this room. I feel like I know everybody here. It's kind of funny, you know. I have my children here, Benjamin, Natalie, and Ava. Ava's boyfriend, Jacob. My brother and his wife, Scott and Chelsea. Their young son, Graham, which is the blessing of all, and watch out for him in years to come. I have Sue and Jacob and Rebecca, my new fiance. What do you know? Lenny and Judy Ivel, Linda Mandela, my parents, Ron and Cindy LaPointe. If you've ever been to an event and heard the national anthem sung, you know my mother. I got Ricky Lauder, I got Kevin Granville. Micah Nelson is also over here, his daughter Maeve, all in support, so I love this room.
That's great. We'll segue into your first question, Mark. Who were some key people that helped you along the way?
It's a simple one. There's 1,000 coaches, there's 1,000 people, generally former athletes who take their time and volunteer and move into the next section. Those people who give their time are probably number one. But for me, my number one would have been my brother. Real simple. Couldn't have done it without him. Nobody tells you you really suck until you really suck. Every wiffle ball game, everything. That's where it comes from, you know.
That's wonderful. What's the most important lesson sports has taught you?
That's humility. There's always somebody bigger, stronger, and faster. That's the way it goes. That's sport. If I can go into a quick story, I'll try and make it quick anyway. I was a young man. I thought I really had it all figured out. I thought I knew more than the coaches, and I got sat for a game, beginning of a game anyway, and everybody came up to me and said, "I can't believe you're sitting down." I said, "Well, me either, you know." And Rick Mercier came over to me and he said, "When you get into that game, you show it." I said, "Okay, I'll show it." First at bat, when they did put me in, I hit a home run. And I ran around those bases and I couldn't have been more proud of myself. And I came around and I looked at my father. And I'll never forget it because I'd never seen him look so happy. And my reaction was, "Go get the ball, go get the ball." And I stole his moment. I stole his moment to have a nice appreciation of what his son did. And right then I realized I needed to rethink what I was doing. And humility came out right then. I'll never forget that moment because I awoke to the fact that it's about more than just yourself all the time. It's about all those who love you and take you to those games and bring you to places, and humility is what it is.
And we know your dad was one of your biggest fans, for sure. He was actually competing with me to be the MC tonight, Mark, to be honest, but I got him in a leg wrestling contest. Can you share a behind-the-scenes story that maybe the crowd doesn't know about?
Oh, well, probably more than one, but
PG.
All right, so 1992, we were seniors in high school. Kevin, Rick, Micah, myself. We, for the last couple of years, had started to play oddball teams in football to fill the schedule. They brought us to a place in Jamaica Plain called White Stadium. We went up against John D. O'Brien School of Mathematics and Learning. Mathematics, no learning, I don't think we're a strong point. And we got into a game with those guys and we were beating the crap out of them. And, well, they didn't particularly appreciate that moment. They started a big fight. Well, maybe we had something to do with it, but they started a big fight. 6 minutes left in the game, they shut it down. They brought us inside that building and they said, we need to get you guys out of here immediately. I said, what do you mean? They said, if you guys are here too much longer, things are not going to be good. Kevin, why don't you come up here for a second? Come here.
Show and tell, everyone, show and tell.
Stand right there. Kevin and I were standing in front of these two big barn doors, waiting for the bus to pick us up and get us home. And they kept telling us how they'd better hurry up and get us out of that building. Our pants were white that we wore, and I don't know if they were white all the way home, but when they opened those doors, it was a little bit touch and go. We got a full police escort from the stadium to the mass bike that day.
We kept the helmets on.
Yeah, we did. Helmets on, shoulder pads on, all the way out.
And lastly, Mark, if you could thank one person publicly, who would it be and why?
I guess it's somewhat redundant. Every coach, every person who put in the time to spend time with athletes, children, to bring them up, push them forward, it's invaluable. I'll bring in Mr. Bob Nelson, who was my high school football coach. A lot of appreciation there. Levon Kachadorian, who spent a lot of time with me, teaching me how to run way faster than I ever thought I could. But my dad overall. Those are the people.
And then after, tell us a little bit about your athletic career after you played high school sports. Something of the game known as hurling?
I guess I can't give it up. I'm affiliated with a team I still play, still to this day, with a Gaelic sporting outfit. We play as the Worcester GAA, the Fenians. We are in the parade every year. We still play very competitively through the Boston GAA. I play the sport of hurling, which if you're not familiar, it's very similar to lacrosse, field hockey, baseball, mix in a little murder, you really got something. That's kind of the way it is.
Thank you. It is with great pleasure that we induct Mark LaPointe to the Leicester High School 2025 Hall of Fame. Presenting Mark with this award is his former football coach, Mr. Bob Nelson. To the next inductee, Betty Larson, class of 1955. So over the past month or so, I've spent a lot of time with Betty Larson. She's a good friend of my mother's. And you know that kind of time that it involves a church and then a good meal afterward? We've done that together a few times in the past month, unfortunately. But I did get a chance to learn a lot about Betty. So she has laryngitis. I called her this morning and I said, Betty, are you ready to go? It's your big night. She said, I have laryngitis. And I said, you're not getting out of it now, kid. You're locked in. We got you engraved and everything. So Betty's here with her family. at this wonderful table, all of her children and grandchildren. 2 tables. Betty's taking down the house tonight. She has 2 tables. She brought a trump card. Thank you so much for being here this evening. We're just going to talk a little bit about some of the conversations we've had together. And what is it about sports, Betty? Why did you love to play?
I always liked to play. Always, since I was a kid. Young. Many, many years ago.
And did you have siblings that you ever played with, or cousins, or neighbors?
Neighbors, maybe.
Some neighbors?
Yeah.
And what was your favorite position?
Shortstop.
Shortstop. And as you all know, the best player on the team plays shortstop, and that's Betty. As we talk about your career, I think it may not have registered with you the impact you have had on many of us young female athletes. I'm not so young anymore, but I'm sure every woman in this building that played at Leicester High School or at some other high school or college is because of the path that you have paved, the trail that you have blazed for all of us. It meant more than we could ever imagine. You are a legend in your own time. Betty was almost late. I found her at the golfing range when I was coming up. She apologized. We managed to pin that boutonniere right on her. And then the last thing, if you could thank anyone in your time in this lovely world, who would you thank and why?
In sports,
In sports.
Mary Scannell was coach at the high school.
Mary Scannell was her coach in high school.
Yeah.
That's wonderful, Betty. We're going to let you sit down now after I give you your plaque. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. It is with great pleasure that we induct Betty Larson to the Leicester High School Hall of Fame. I will be presenting you with this plaque this evening.
I can hear them. But it's leaks.
Yeah, you can hold it. Thank you very much.
Betty had a few more stories to share, but she wanted to keep that voice nice and low-key tonight. The one thing that Betty has done for all of us is that she has proven that if you stay active and you stay healthy and you take care of yourself, this is someone who still golfs 18 holes. At her last doctor's appointment back in October, the doctor said, "Are you staying healthy? Are you staying active?" And she said, "Oh yeah, I bowl, I walk, and I golf." And he said, 9 holes? She said, 18, Pine Ridge. So she is the epitome of taking care of yourself, a legend in her own right, Betty Larson. Next inductee, we have Tom O'Neill, class of 1991. Tom participated in cross-country skiing, soccer, and track and field. Did it turn green?
It turned green.
That is great. Some highlights about Tom is that he captained all 3 sports, he participated in the Junior Olympics, and he continued his athletic career at the collegiate level. University of New Hampshire, correct?
Correct.
So Tom, can you introduce who you have with you in your cheering section today?
I've got my parents, Richard and Carol O'Neill. I've got my oldest sister, Darlene, and her husband, Chuck. My second oldest sister, Kathleen, and her husband, Pete. And my brother, Tim, and his wife, Kathleen.
Thank you for coming, O'Neill family. Tom, can you tell us about who may have helped you along the way as you continued your athletic career from grammar school to high school and then at the collegiate level?
I would say probably from a track perspective, Mr. Nelson and Mr. White, although sometimes I don't feel like they knew what to do with me. I ran 2 mile, and Mr. Nelson would just tell me, go down to Hot Dog Annie's, keep going, take a right, go down by the reservoir for a little while, run around the high school for a little bit, and then half an hour later I would show back up. And they'd tell me something else did. So Bob Fitzpatrick, from a skiing perspective as well, not only in high school, but outside of high school, Bob was my coach. A lot of long weekends, a lot of 2.5-hour trips up north, just tons of time. You know, a lot of involvement, you know, from probably when I was 8 years old all the way up to the end of high school. And he's still coaching skiing at this age as well.
And at some point you were able to ski in Alaska?
Yes, I did for the Junior Olympics. So I finished my sophomore year #1 in New England, qualified for the Junior Olympics, went to Alaska, got to ski up there for 3 days against some of the best skiers in the country. So it was a great experience. And then finally, before I pick up to my parents, I mean, cross-country skiing is probably the most, you know, the worst sport as a spectator. I mean, just imagine driving 2.5-3 hours up into the mountains, getting out of the car in the middle of winter and walking half an hour into the woods, and then for 3 seconds they see me go flying by, and then they go back out of the woods for half an hour and they get back in their car and they drive home. So, thank you.
What life lessons have you learned through your athletic experiences?
I think a lot of people say just the competitiveness and the drive that they have. But I think Becky mentioned it as well. It's just the ability to adapt to adversity. I mean, everybody in here has had severe losses. Probably except for the 1960 football team. Everybody else has, and then even the great wins. I mean, you see football players in NFL crying after Super Bowls. It's just the devotion and the dedication that you've got, but there's the life lessons that you learn that not everything's going to go your way. You can plan it, you can train, you can try to do every single thing right, but something's going to come up to throw you off course.
In your athletic experiences, who was your toughest component, or what was the biggest challenge?
For me, I think, which is weird, but it was the weather. Obviously, you need snow to ski. You can't plan for snow. I remember I think it was my senior year in high school. The day before the state championships, we were outside the elementary school training on pavement. And the next day I had to go and race in a state championship in Western Mass. But it's just, you can't count on it. You got to do it. But I'd say more than 50% of our training was on dry land. And it's just, sometimes you win, sometimes you don't.
And lastly, what advice would you give to your younger self?
I'd probably say just, take every opportunity you've got and drive it to the max. I mean, I think I look back at the difference of sports these days versus when I was growing up. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina now, and my kids go to a school, they graduated from a school where there was 1,200 kids in the school. My graduating class was 98 people. I mean, there's probably 4,000 people that go to the football games, there's 200 kids on the track team. I mean, I could play whatever sport I wanted to growing up. I had the ability to play multiple sports. I didn't have to choose one sport. It's different. I guess everybody says that, but it's different now. But I think coming from a small town, it gave you that ability to basically just maximize everything you got, and I was fortunate.
Thank you, Tom. It is with great pleasure that we induct Tom O'Neill to the 2025 Leicester High School Hall of Fame. Presenting Tom's award is his former cross-country coach, my new coffee buddy, Mr. Bob Fitzpatrick. Next up is Bob Pinchton, Jr., class of 1991 as well. We've seen him around the gym, Town Hall gym from the Little League baseball field. Welcome, Bob. He played baseball, basketball, and football. Some highlights about Bob is that he played in multiple Clark tournaments, was awarded the Offensive Player of the Game in the Thanksgiving Day game versus Prouty, and continued his athletic career at Nichols College. Please join us as we welcome Bob on stage, and we want Bob to introduce his crew that's with him tonight. He's finding the mute button, Suzanne.
Got it. Thank you, everyone. I feel like I'm at the Oscars here. I got to thank, first of all, my entire table over there. I'm going to start with my beautiful wife, Suzanne. My children, Sarah and Jessica. My parents, Bob and Gina. My nephew, Luke. My nephew, Luke, who's in North Carolina. My nephew, Jack, and his girlfriend, Laura, who are here. My daughter, Sarah's boyfriend, Nolan. Oh, boy. And I can't forget my beautiful sister, Christina, who is here as well. I also want to thank some other people. My best friend, my best man at my wedding, Matthew Kemp over there. He's not here for me tonight, but he is here for me, but he's not. And I got a Brett Castigian, superintendent Brett Castigian. Wow. You know what, Brett, that is the most impressive thing over the years that I've been hearing. You are running the show in this town, and I'm proud of you, brother. Great job. Well, I got to take care of the superintendent. He runs the show.
It was a good show. Yeah. If you could relive one game, match, or event, which one would it be and why?
Well, that's an easy one for me. It's not a good one. My senior year, Clark tournament was the most important thing to me coming into high school. It was my biggest goal every year. Wanted to play the Clark tournament. My junior year, we got there. We played Air High School, and they really took it to us. But my senior year, we got there again. We were a 7th seed, going up against Southbridge, who was the 2 seed, and it wasn't supposed to be close. But we ended up losing, unfortunately, in double overtime, 65-64. And if I may, I'm going to read an article from back when, from a local paper. Pinchton shackled, Provost, who was from Southbridge, shackled Wolverine marksman Bob Pinchton, 9 points, bodying the Leicester guard into a horrid 3 for 16 day from the field in 8 tournaments. So obviously not my best game. I feel like if I had played a little bit better that game, we might have won. Just a little bit better, I think. So definitely the one game I wish I had back. I don't carry this article around with me, but it's up here every day.
It's a good prop. Tell us, what does this mean to you, being inducted to the Leicester High School Hall of Fame? What does it mean to you personally, Bob?
First of all, I loved high school. I really did. I loved all 4 years of it. Being a Wolverine meant everything to me, and I'm proud of that to this day, and I will be forever. I think it almost didn't happen. I was committed to Holy Name High School up until the last minute, and I decided not to go. I remember being very emotional about it. I remember, being upset, thinking my mother was going to be disappointed. But I made the decision not to go, and I don't regret that decision one bit. But being inducted means I just wasn't another student at the school or just another kid who played sports, but someone who's enshrined in the Hall of Fame now, and someone who will be remembered, forever as an important part of the athletics at this high school.
Thank you. What was the most unexpected or surprising moment in your career?
So growing up, I played Growing up, I played basketball, baseball, and soccer. Those were my sports, and but the sport I always wanted to play was football. And I was always scared. Every year, Papa wanted tryouts would come, and I never signed up. But got to high school finally, and I committed to the fact I'm just going to play basketball and baseball. And I'll remember I walked into high school that first day, my freshman year, and I was in gym class. I'll never forget it. At the time, I was sitting in the bleachers. I think Coach Nelson, I think you were the gym teacher that day. But Coach Lauder, who was the varsity coach, came walking up to me and just looked at me and said, "You look like a quarterback. You should come out for football." And I said, "Okay." That's all I needed to hear. So, I went home, told my mother. I said, "I'm playing football." She said, "No, you're not." I said, I go, "Yeah, I guess I am." So, you see the bio, and obviously, I ended up playing football, and believe it or not, it was, might not have been my best sport. Basketball was my best sport, but football was a sport I enjoyed, I loved the most. So that was probably the most surprising moment. I know it's a long story, but thank you, Coach Lauder.
That's a great story. If you could thank one person personally and publicly today, who would it be and why?
I played for some great coaches over the years. Coach Albro, Coach Nelson, Coach Lauder. They taught me so many amazing things, that I'm so appreciative of, and I'll never forget. But the one person who was probably the most influential in my life, was my father in terms of sports. I remember when I was younger, I spent a lot of nights at O'Gara Field in Spencer, watching him play softball. He was only in his 20s then, so it wasn't old man softball. It was pretty competitive. And I always remember that. I also remember him dressing me up in hockey goalie equipment that he had, and putting me up against the garage door and firing tennis balls at me. Luckily, they weren't hockey pucks. He'd fire those at me until I stopped crying or until my mother came down and told me to stop. And ironically, I don't know why, I never saw him ever skate, but he had hockey equipment. I never understood that. But he did. He allowed me, not to miss anything growing up, sporting-wise. Whether it was a family event, birthday, funerals, whatever. He never allowed me the opportunity to miss sporting. He always made sure that I got to that, whatever sporting event it was, or practice. He coached every basketball game for me from 4th grade to 8th grade. He ran the league, which he still does to this day. That gave him keys to the town hall, which in this town, or Leicester, having the keys to the town hall is pretty important, because that gave us opportunity to go up to whatever we wanted to shoot around. I had many friends that came and shot around with me, helped my shooting, my skill development. He was my coach in 14 and 15-year-old baseball, which brought my favorable baseball moment of all time when we won the league championship. He was my biggest critic. There's no doubt he was my biggest critic, but he was also my loudest cheerleader. I know that I would not have the love for sports that I do to this day if it wasn't for him. So thank you, Dad.
It is with great pleasure that we induct Bob Pinchton to the Leicester High School Hall of Fame Class of 2025. Presenting Bob with the award is former football coach, Mr. Tom Lauder. And our last individual inductee of the evening is Lauren Taskula, class of 2013. She is the youngest of our inductees. A few highlights about Lauren is she was a 3-time TNG Super Team selection in softball. She maintained a .625 batting average and continued her athletic as well as academic career at Amherst College. Lauren played basketball, indoor, track and field, soccer, and softball. Welcome, Lauren.
Thank you.
Can you start by introducing your fans and friends that are here with you this evening?
My dad's here, Wayne, who was Leicester High School class of 76. My mom, Amy, and my boyfriend, Scott, who is meeting everyone from my past tonight. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Let's get right into this. If you could tell us, who were the key people who helped you along the way in your athletic career?
Definitely. Similar to what others said, there's been so many people that have helped me along the way. Seeing so many teachers here today too, Ms. Verdella, Mrs. Granger, that made an impact academically. Athletically, Fran Wachowski, who some people in this room might know, he was our assistant coach for softball, my first real recreational coach. We used to practice at the Burncoat field behind deep down the road. We'd run bases. After every practice, I just remember he taught me the fundamentals from a young age. Coach White, who I was lucky enough to run for, was very generous with his time and patient with me when I was learning to hurdle. I remember in the middle school gym, I couldn't get the 3-step down between the hurdles, and you were very patient with me during that. And I also remember just after, there's been so many community events that Coach White also is at, different races. I ran the Tarantino 5K, and I remember I was crossing the finish line and I hear, "Pump your arms, Lauren, pump your arms, Lauren." And it was Coach White down the stretch there. And Coach Stanek as well, of course, our head coach for softball, just taught me so much about leadership along the way and really led our team. So those are the coaches. And of course my parents, they've done so much for me. So made so many sacrifices so I could play. My mom did a lot with the Leicester Booster Club when I was younger, stood at the corner, the center of town, collecting change. They drove me everywhere, and my dad would do everything for me. He would sit on the bucket and catch pitches as I threw drop balls at his shins. We just traveled all over, so my parents have done so much for me.
What values or habits have you carried over from sports into your life?
Yes, I work in sports now, so I'm a sports writer, and I work with a team of folks who all played sports growing up, and I think teamwork is one of the biggest things. Just all working towards a common goal and having that, and that's something we got to do as athletes at Leicester High School. So that's a big one for me, teamwork and getting to lead a team now.
Throughout your athletic career, what was the biggest challenge you may have ever encountered?
I think challenge-wise, Grafton was our biggest opponent. We played them, of course, in the regular season, and then we saw them a lot in the playoffs too. They were a really strong team, and we just always had good games against them. We down the stretch, and even now driving through Grafton, I'm like, I hate Grafton.
They're the Gators now. Did you know that?
Oh, I didn't know them.
Yeah, that's typical Grafton. What do you hope that people remember about you and your career?
I think just that I worked hard. I think that was something I had a lot of coaches instill in me, that hard work would get you really far. And I think playing the game the right way and just respecting the game, respecting those who came before you, those are things that are really important to me. And I was lucky enough, I think it was maybe 6 or 7 years ago when the softball team was making a run in the playoffs. Coach Stanek gave me a call and asked me to speak to the team. And I think that was a real honor for me to get to be someone that he wanted the team to speak with. So I think that's how I'd like to be remembered.
And I'm sure the team was in absolute awe because they have heard about you, the legend. So that's fantastic. It is with great pleasure that we induct Lauren Tuscula to the Leicester High School Class of 2025 Hall of Fame. Presenting Lauren with the award is former softball coach, Mr. Dave Stanek. We're going to feng shui this room. We're going to set up the front for our team induction. No offense, I'm sure you're great on a stool, Steelman. We're going to get all set up. Leicester High School Hall of Fame, the 1960 undefeated football team. Yes. This was a unanimous decision by the committee and a well-deserved honor. This legendary team set an athletic standard for the future years of Leicester High School athletics. I would like to start by introducing the members of the team who are here with us tonight. Members, if you could just wave, give a wave when I say your name. The crowd wants to see where you're seated this right now. Seated. Norman Bergeron. Buddy Merriman. Bob Carney. Bob Carney is also a 1996 Hall of Fame inductee. So he's already in. He's trying to rack up all the hardware. Bob Nelson. Dave Spielman. And co-captain, a 1997 Hall of Fame inductee, Vic Taylor. Before we continue, I would like to take a moment to honor the members of the 1960 undefeated football team who are not with us this evening. Whether they have passed or they live out of the area, they too were part of this remarkable legacy. Norm Susi was a co-captain, Roger Hunt, Roy Johnson, Jim Connery, Robert Leicester, George Skip Piltzecker, Dave Provo, Rich McCune, Doug Allen, Ken Gaffney, Dave Merrow, Steve Lupa, John Rock, Mike Emerson, and Arthur Snow. The ball boys and managers that year were George Albro, Mickey Riedel, and Rich Kennedy, and it was coached by the late, great Mr. Page Roden. At this time, I would like to call the members that we just announced up to the front chairs, and we're going to have Mr. Vic Taylor and Mr. Uncle Bob Carney come on up, and you're going to say a few words. Let's have the team that is here that we are honoring will come to our front and center. We will not make you go on stage. It's a hazard. You guys look great. Some Leicester High School balloon going on here. So we're going to give you a chance, whomever wants to speak. I know Vic and Uncle Bob, you have maybe a few words you want to share. And if you could just share with all of us here how important that moment was in your career and what kind of lasting memories has stayed with you.
My career was started off in Cherry Valley being a junkyard dog. You had to measure up or you didn't get to play sports on the corner. When I got to high school, everything about high school for me was not reading, writing, and arithmetic. It was sports. And that worked for me tremendously. Because being physical, when I graduated, and I ended up working in construction, bringing shingles up to the top of cathedrals and churches and building houses. What I felt and learned in high school paid off. But I wasn't done then. When I was getting my company, and I was up to 18 employees, I gave back to the place where I love so much. Dealing with team Lenny Ivels and Judy Ivels, we built the bandstand and donated to the town. I was still a player. I worked on the historical building and donated my time in the historical building because I love Leicester, I love the town, and I didn't want to ever quit. Thank you very much.
Can you say a few words? He texted me today. Let's just do a little backstory here. I texted him good luck. He said be nice. So far, so good.
Gonna ruin it. About my line. I want to thank, I know the history about the single people being recognized, and it was nice of them to accept our little group, which is very little. We're going to find 8 players from the original 23, 24 players from Leicester. So we don't know if they're alive or they passed, but we know they moved out of town. No one knows where they went. So it's been a lot of years, 40, 30, 40. And, we're honored tonight. I just feel so honored, and we appreciate you. Doing a great job, honey. You're saying that well.
We don't need to put any of the other players on the spot, but what kind of captains were Vic Taylor and Norm Susi? Does anyone want to share a moment, maybe PG, that happened before a game, after a game?
I have a different perspective. I was a freshman on that team. You can see I'm the youngest person. But I think I was in 7th grade when my dad started taking me to games, and I saw these fellas play when they were like freshmen, sophomores, and they didn't win all the games then. But when I was a freshman on the team, it was the first team that I'd ever been on. I didn't play soccer, didn't play Little League baseball, so this was my first experience. So the memory that I will carry is they worked so hard. They worked so hard. And of course, we weren't deep, didn't have many subs, and everybody was just in great shape, great leadership. And that's probably the thing that I would, remember the most. I spent a few years coaching, and the teams that worked the hardest, the people that worked the hardest, seem to certainly add to their success. So what I remember about this team is they just work really, really hard.
Anything else from our team members? All right, we are going to present you with the awards. I would like Mr. Tom Lauder to come up and help with the delivery, and Miss Kim Fridella to come as well. Norm Bergeron. Congratulations, Norm. Buddy Berriman. Uncle Awesome Bob Carney. Bob Nelson. David Steelman. And Captain Vic Taylor. Additionally, this evening, accepting a plaque in honor of the late great Jim Connery, my father, is his wife, my mother, Maureen Connery. Please come on up and accept this. I'll come to you, Mom. Additionally, Paula Susie Gallant, her father was the other co-captain, Norm Susi. She will also be receiving a plaque. Is she? We were hoping she might make it. She couldn't make it this evening. Congratulations to the 1960 undefeated football team, a team that demonstrated great pride, great dedication, great work, and left a legacy for many, many years to come. Congratulations. Does anyone need help to their seat? I saw Vic Taylor nodding off. Again, at the end of this event, the LCAC would like to have some brief interviews with some of our inductees. Now, I'm going to turn things over to the other co-chair, Tracy Steiger, who will conclude the evening. Thank you very much.
Let's give a nice round of applause to our MC, Jen. Nice job, Jenny. So before we wrap up tonight, I want to give one more big shout out to our inductees. Welcome to the Hall of Fame Club. You've earned your spot, and we're all thrilled to celebrate you. And let's be honest, being a Wolverine never gets old. It's something to be proud of, and it's an honor we all carry with us. Inductees, the centerpieces are for you to take home. We just kindly ask that you leave the sports equipment on the table. Thank you everyone for coming out tonight. Thank you for supporting our athletes, and congratulations again to our newest Hall of Famers. Go Wolverines.
We're here with Lauren Tuscula from the class of 2014. Feel like you've always been part of the LCAC family. You got us some great shows over the years.
Right. That's where I work in sports now. So that's where I started learning how to do interviews from you, and we did it together. And I got to do play-by-play for Leicester rec basketball and LCAC. So yeah, it feels like that's where it all started for me.
I remember covering those softball games. Yeah. You mentioned Grafton. I'm a Grafton guy.
Oh, yeah.
Only been in Leicester 50 years. Yeah. But you beat them 1 year because my best friend John Jum was the coach.
We did, yeah. It was always a close game, but we got him a couple times. I feel like it was always like 1 run or 2 runs every game. So yeah, we saw them in the playoffs a few times, and they were always tough.
People forget you were one heck of a basketball player too. You gave it up because you had a coach that worked with you in the winter pitching.
Right. That's what I would do, pitching lessons in Uxbridge, Massachusetts. So it was just too much to get back and forth, but then that got me ready to play softball in college. So then I started running track after that. Yeah.
What's it like to be in this Hall of Fame?
It's very cool to see the history and have the people that were speaking tonight and learn about the people that came before. It's so special to come back here and be part of Leicester.
You put Leicester on the map.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice to talk to you. Congratulations.
Thank you, and congratulations to your son too.
Thank you. All right, we're here with the class of 1991. I don't know, is this the first time that the same class went in with Tommy O'Neill and Bob Pinston Jr.?
Definitely. It's been, 25, 30 years at this point.
Yeah, I think we're closing in on 30.
It's great to be back. I mean, I haven't been back in a long time, but just to see everybody here and just the faces that I haven't seen in a long time, it's impressive as well.
You were Wolverine of the Year, right?
Yes, I was actually.
It's another big honor.
It was. I tell you, I go back, it's just the growing up that we had in this town, just to see it live again is incredible. You know, I don't know if other kids are getting it, but it's something to be said for a small town atmosphere.
Right. Bob, I mean, you guys, were buddies. He played different sport than you.
Yeah.
It's kind of ironic to hear you guys are in the Wolverine, Hall of Fame the same year.
It is. I mean, we also grew up, about 50 yards apart as the crow flies. We weren't too far away, but obviously, Tommy Wolverine of the Year that year, and I think I was whatever the other award was. It's a great accomplishment. It's this great honor to be inducted in the Hall of Fame. What it means to me, it's incredible.
Well, you're a coach now, and this is something you'll always remember.
It will. I mean, yeah, it's, I'm not used to talking about myself. When I'm used to doing these banquets with my kids and my players, I'm used to talking about them. So I'm a little uncomfortable up there talking about myself, but it's an honor and it's something I'm gonna have forever and cherish forever.
Yeah, Bob coaches high school girls basketball, and what doesn't he coach?
Yeah. No, it's great. I mean, I've got a couple kids as well, and just watching them grow up and going through the sports and stuff. It's hard to not get overly involved in their sports and tell them what to do and stuff. But it's a reliving of the whole experience again.
Yeah, I got a grandson down in Charlotte now, going to what's vocational college.
Okay. No, it's great. It's great. And the school, very competitive down there. A lot of student athletes. A lot of people going to the NFL from there and stuff. So it's very, very competitive.
Well, congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
We're going to move on to a couple more interviews so Lucky can go home and go to bed.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
All right, we're here with Mark LaPointe, recently entered into the Leicester Hall of Fame, class of 1993.
Yeah.
Great job up there, by the way.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
You
that.
do a lot of talking at work and stuff?
Yeah, everybody wants me to shut up all the time.
Hey, I had the pleasure of coaching you and Ben.
It's amazing, isn't it?
To the
Well,
point.
you're exactly who I was talking about. The people who gave their time to be coaches, to give back all the way through. That's exactly what I was referring to.
I don't know anybody that hit harder than you and wanted to hit harder than you, whether it was baseball, catching, or football.
Well, I appreciate that. It was always about making sure they didn't want to come back the same way. You know?
Yep.
That's
I
all
mean,
I could
Scotty
give
was
them.
a good athlete.
Excellent
but
athlete, yeah.
different than you.
We had a little different mind change. I think I took all the hits when I was younger, so, I had to give them back to somebody.
Hey, your parents, fantastic. You mentioned your mom singing that national anthem. Nobody can sing like Cindy LaPointe.
That's the truth. That's the truth. I couldn't tell you how many events we've been to where my own mom was singing the national anthem, and it was a beautiful thing,
Yep, you did a great job.
Thank
Congratulations. We'll see you around town.
I appreciate you, sir.
Yep,
I appreciate everything you guys do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark.
All right.
All right, we're here with Dr. Costigian, Superintendent of Leicester Schools, and Jen Callahan. Hey, great job.
Hey,
the Oscars might be looking for you.
Oh, man, I would love it. That's my next job. I want to be a stand-up comedian when I grow up.
Jenny, we always look back, and I remember you on the American Legion team, only girl.
That's right.
You and the other girl, I forget her name, you had the sweetest swing.
Oh, well, lefty, right? I'm lefty.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
I used to umpire those games.
That's right, you did. That's where it all began, all this sports game. All these guys are my best friends. I grew up playing with all the boys and all the sports teams, and it just carried over when you get to high school. You play on the girls' teams, and it's just fantastic. And just this kind of night makes you so proud.
And you're a principal. He's a superintendent. I got to coach Brett in All-Stars.
Yes,
he's done so much, he keeps pulling these rabbits out of his hat.
Well, it's because I've had outstanding coaches like yourself, but I want to say first, congratulations to you. Big night for you, your son getting into the Hall of Fame. That's just incredible. Like Jen, I'm a Wolverine. I grew up with Bobby. We played together, and it's a heartwarming event tonight. I mean, it was just really, really nice. And I thought Mrs. Connery did Principal Connery did a phenomenal job.
Yeah. She knows all the cops at Northborough, too.
No doubt. So.
And let's not forget the biggest highlight of your life, marrying up a
Without
Cricklewood girl.
Without a doubt. Wolverines through and through.
All right. Hey, we're going to be back to wrap it up with Kim Fidella. And great night here at the Spencer Country Inn. Thanks to Lucky and LCAC. But we're going to wrap it up with Kim, and we'll see how many more years we do this again.
Oh, maybe 2. Maybe every other year. We're going to talk about it as a committee. We've got to really revisit and take some feedback, reflect on the evening. But I think overall it was a great format and it went well.
Oh, you did a great job. We'll be back with one more interview. Lucky's got to go home. We're going to wrap it up with the chairman of this great committee, Kim Fidella, who never ages, by the way. Hey, everything went so great.
Thank you so much, and congratulations to you, the dad of a Hall of Famer now.
Yeah, it was touching, I'll say the least.
Very nice, and he gave you some great props, and well-deserved to you.
Yeah,
so.
Jen did a great job.
Wasn't she just born to do this?
Yeah, and she kind of let something out of the bag. It might be every other year now.
We don't know, actually. We'll know when we reconvene in June. We'll talk about that as a committee, and we'll see where we go from there.
You're a busy lady. You also, aren't you the union rep for the teachers too?
Yep.
You know, one of the big regrets is we didn't have LCAC when you were making those jump shots, making John Dorian cry. And I remember that Saturday game.
You do remember
when you
that?
made that shot.
Oh my
and
gosh.
he cried, I swear to God.
We have that on VHS somewhere
Yep.
in the Fredella household, but that was a great game. I can't believe it. You have such a great mind for,
Yeah, I remember
for
that.
all those stats.
I mean, you
and
were an
things like
ultimate
that.
team player.
Oh,
You
that's
know,
very
you
kind.
could have scored 20 a game, but you distributed that ball to everybody.
I had great teammates like Jen and Tracy and Judy Moffitt, Emily
Yep.
Bottis, all Hall of Famers. You know, so when you have great players like that with you, you got to just, you know, you want to win the games.
Yep. Well, we got to interview your dad yesterday. Now interviewing you.
Oh, that's
Hey,
nice.
have a great holiday.
Thank you.
And
I
a
hope
great
you
job.
had a good one. Thank
We're going to
you.
wrap it up here from the Spencer Country Inn. A great night, the Leicester Hall of Fame. Hopefully we'll see it in a couple more years.